The movie starts with the Yakuza and the Mafia having a meeting. However, their meeting gets disrupted by a highly skilled hitman who is amazing at sports and shooting. He is super quick in his movements too. In a short time, he mercilessly takes down the Yakuza and the Mafia members. This skilled hitman goes by the name Fable, but don't think he's just a ruthless killer with no sense of humor. One of his favorite things to do is watch funny commercials featuring comedian Jackal Tomioka. Even though most people find Jackal cringeworthy, Fable really looks up to him. After dealing with the Yakuza and the Mafia, Fable goes to his boss to ask for his next mission. This boss had a big role in training Fable since he was a kid, helping him become an elite assassin. But unexpectedly, the boss tells Fable to take a year off and live a normal life using the fake name Akira Sato. What's more, Fable is not allowed to kill anyone during this break. If he's caught killing someone, the boss himself will end up taking out Akira. The boss also asks Yoko, the woman who used to pick up Fable during his missions, to join him during this time and pretend to be his sister. At the place where the Yakuza and Mafia were killed, two other hitmen named Fudo and his partner arrived to check out the bodies. They were originally assigned to eliminate the Yakuza and Mafia, but Fable took care of it instead. Surprisingly, instead of being angry, they were impressed by Fable's exceptional killing skills. What amazed them even more was how Fable managed to take out two people with just one bullet. Although Fable is often thought of as an urban legend, they are convinced that he's the one who did the job. Now they are eager to meet this legendary assassin. Yoko and Fable, who is now going by the name Akira, finally start their break in Osaka. They were handed over to a friend of their boss, Hamada, who happens to be a local Yakuza leader. Hamada and his right-hand man, Ebihara, were a bit unsure about having Akira around because they knew he was a hitman. However, they had no other choice. Once they meet at the Yakuza office, Captain Ebihara takes Akira and Yoko to their temporary home. In the garage of the house, Ebihara keeps his favorite car. But he couldn't do anything when Akira and Yoko decided to use it. Still having doubts, Ebihara secretly sends two thugs to check if Akira is really on leave as an assassin or not. To their surprise, Akira follows his boss' orders completely. He allows himself to be beaten until he's bleeding and even pretends to cry like a young girl. However, their doubts grow when a woman suddenly appears. Misaki, the woman, kindly offered Akira a handkerchief to help him wipe away the blood from his nose. But Akira, feeling awkward, declined her offer of help. Meanwhile, Fudo and his associates took care of the workers responsible for moving the bodies of Akira's victims. They'd forced one of the workers to give them a phone that had a recording of Akira during his previous mission. Ebihara remained curious about Akira and decided to test him again. He invited Akira to meet a dangerous wrestler who had committed various crimes like assault, rape, and robbery. As a pretext, Ebihara asked Akira to eliminate the wrestler. Ebihara kept pushing him, even putting a mask on him, and trying to make him attack the wrestler. But Akira still refused to kill. In the end, Ebihara had to shoot the wrestler himself. Afterward, Ebihara went to inform Hamada about Kojima's release from prison. Kojima was a troublesome member of their gang who had a history of causing problems. On his first day out of prison, Kojima brutally stabbed and shot his business partner to death. His reason was that his colleague had never visited him while he was in prison. After getting his revenge, Kojima comes across a magazine with Misaki on the cover. It turns out that she used to be a model for adult magazines. Kojima, being a businessman, immediately recognizes Misaki's beauty as a potential moneymaker. He believes that beautiful women can bring in profits. Meanwhile, Akira, feeling bored, starts looking for jobs. Unfortunately, because he is too honest, he keeps getting rejected. While wandering the streets, he runs into Misaki again, who invites him to apply for a job at the small design company where she works. Surprisingly, Akira gets accepted there, but his role is as a courier and office assistant. At the Yakuza office, Ebihara warmly welcomes Kojima back home. Despite Kojima's history of causing trouble, Ebihara considers him like a brother, even though Kojima had been imprisoned for killing Ebihara's girlfriend. The news of Kojima's release eventually reaches Tsunagawa, a Yakuza lieutenant who has his eye on Ebihara's position. Tsunagawa plans to expose Ebihara as the person who ordered Kojima to kill his girlfriend. Switching back to Akira, he is invited to have dinner with his new colleagues. However, they are surprised when they see Akira eating peanuts and watermelon, including the skin. This makes them think that Akira is very poor. It reminds Akira of his childhood, when his boss mentally trained him by making him live in the forest with just a knife for months. After having dinner, Akira decided to visit Ebihara's house. However, when he arrived, he unexpectedly encountered Kojima. Kojima still doesn't know Akira's true identity. He decided to play a prank on Akira by holding a knife near his ear, and then called out to Ebihara. But when they found Ebihara, he had suffered a heart attack and was lying in the bathroom. He was rushed to the hospital for treatment. Worried about his condition, Ebihara warned Kojima not to cause any trouble while he was being treated. However, it seems that Kojima forgot this warning because not long after, he met Misaki and demanded that she star in an adult video. Kojima threatened to harm the people she cares about if she refused. Meanwhile, Fudo and his colleagues, who are still searching for Akira, received a mission from Tsunagawa to kidnap Kojima. Tsunagawa also shared a rumor that Ebihara was harboring an exceptional assassin, which piqued Fudo's interest. Misaki's anxiety increased when Kojima sent her pictures of her mother, indicating that he had discovered her mother's whereabouts. Kojima's threats made it hard for Misaki to focus on her work. She decided to take Akira out for dinner, where she asked him if he wasn't afraid of living alone in the forest. But Akira believed that nature treated people fairly and wisely, unlike cities where people often acted selfishly to get what they wanted. After their dinner, Misaki goes to Kojima's place to accept his offer. However, a few moments later, Fudo and his partner arrive and abduct both Kojima and Misaki. They then hand them over to Tsunagawa. Upon learning that Kojima has been kidnapped, Ebihara approaches Akira and asks for his help in rescuing Kojima. Akira initially refuses, but Ebihara makes a tempting offer that's hard to turn down. He promises to give Akira his favorite car if he's willing to assist. Using his analytical skills, Akira goes to the location of the kidnapping to investigate. He's surprised to discover that Misaki was also present when Kojima was abducted, leading him to believe that she was kidnapped too. Meanwhile, Tsunagawa tries to get Kojima to speak badly about Ebihara in order to get him expelled from the Yakuza. Instead of complying, Kojima retaliates by threatening Tsunagawa, revealing that Ebihara has the support of a formidable assassin known as the Fable. As Akira prepares to help Misaki, Yoko tries to dissuade him from getting involved in the Yakuza's internal conflict, as it could be very dangerous if their boss found out. However, Akira is determined and argues that as a regular person, he should assist Misaki, who had helped him secure a job. In the end, Yoko helps Akira create non-lethal fake bullets that are powerful enough to immobilize people. At the hospital, Ebihara receives a visit from the boss, who threatens to kill him for involving Akira. During their conversation, it becomes clear that the boss had ordered Akira to take a year off and live a normal life to weaken his killing abilities. The boss is concerned that Akira's skills are too deadly, and he worries that Akira might become a dangerous weapon. In the end, the boss spares Ebihara's life. Akira, with Yoko by his side, goes to Tsunagawa's headquarters. He manages to climb into the building, and once inside, he immobilizes Tsunagawa's men, who were about to harm Misaki. Upon hearing Misaki's frightened voice, Yoko asks Akira to comfort her, and Akira does so by imitating Jackal Tomioka's style. After rescuing Misaki, Akira looks for Kojima, who is tied up on the upper floor. To save Kojima, Akira uses a steel door as a shield to block the bullets fired by the Yakuza. He only starts taking action when the Yakuza run out of bullets, and he successfully saves Kojima from falling. However, Akira's task is not yet complete, as he needs to get Kojima out of the building, which is filled with Tsunagawa's men. He becomes a bit overwhelmed by the large number of enemies surrounding him, and Kojima isn't much help either. During this intense moment, Misaki made a mistake by leaving her hiding spot. She was almost caught by Fudo's partner and had to jump, almost falling from the top floor. Fudo's partner couldn't help but laugh at Misaki's blunder. On the other side of the building, Kojima confronts Tsunagawa after trapping Tsunagawa's men. They have a tough fight, but eventually, Kojima emerges as the winner. While searching for Misaki, Akira finally finds her. However, just as he's about to rescue her, Fudo suddenly appears and attacks Akira, causing them both to fall to the ground floor. They engage in a close-range shootout, and Akira is nearly killed as Fudo skillfully corners him. Fortunately, Akira's agility allows him to outmaneuver Fudo, ultimately shooting and incapacitating him. Akira then immediately jumps to save Misaki. Meanwhile, Fudo's partner is swiftly defeated by Yoko with a single kick. The rescue mission ends successfully. To ensure that Misaki never discovers Akira's true identity as Fable, Endahara's men disguise themselves as Fable and escort her back home. Not only did Akira successfully rescue Misaki without harming anyone, but his plan to avoid killing also went well. Sugihara's men, as well as Fudo and his partner, were still alive. However, when it seemed like everything was settling down, a sudden twist occurred. The boss unexpectedly showed up and shot Fudo and his partner because he believed they might pose a threat to Akira's new normal life. Akira then takes Kojima to Ebihara, who is frustrated with Kojima's behavior. Ebihara ends up killing Kojima and presents a photo of his body to Tsunagawa in an attempt to ease the tension between them. In the final scene of the story, we see Akira grilling fish on the roof of his house, accompanied by his pet bird. So the moral of the story is sometimes all you need to solve a Yakuza problem is a good sense of humor and a pet bird to grill fish with.